What is going on, everybody? I am back today to do a director ranked list, and I actually did this list a couple of years ago, but since then he has released another film, and I've rewatched some of these movies, and I thought that it would be fun to revisit this list because Yorgos Lanthimos, who I will be talking about today, is releasing a new movie very soon called Kinds of Kindness, and I'm very excited since Poor Things was just released last year that he has two movies coming out so close together. And so I'm really excited to talk about these movies with you today and to rank them. I've still never seen Yorgos's directorial debut, Canetta. I've never watched that movie, so it will not be included on this list, but I have seen his 6 other theatrical releases, and I personally do not believe that Yorgos has ever released a bad movie. I love all of his films for a variety of reasons, and so today I'm going to be ranking his films from my least favorite to my favorite, and I'm excited to jump into this right now. So coming in at number 6 is going to be the film Alps. A lot of people really dislike this movie. I really love this movie. I just do not think that it lives up to his other films. If you're unfamiliar with this movie, it is about a group of people who work together in this organization where they each go to homes of people who have died recently and act like those people's deceased family members in a way that is creepy and uncomfortable and that only Yorgos Lanthimos can pull off. I think this movie is absolutely hilarious. It's also really depraved when you think about it because these people settle in to these other people's lifestyles where they're learning little bits of information about the people who have died, but they can never totally be those people, and how like some people treat them like the family members and some people overstep their bounds in a very uncomfortable and very disturbing way. It's just really thoughtful, like all of Yorgos's work. I just think that the movie is a little bit inconsistent with its pacing comparatively to the rest of the films in his catalog, but I have been really itching to revisit this one lately. Coming in at number 5 is The Favorite. This is the movie that landed Olivia Colman her Oscar, and a movie I absolutely love. I think the only reason this movie falls shorter on this list is because it doesn't get into the weirdness like some of the other movies in Yorgos's catalog do, in a way that I love. And that's not to take away from the fact that I think this movie is masterfully made. This is arguably some of Yorgos's most brilliant cinematography. The way he utilizes natural light in this movie, and he talked about how he wanted so many sequences to just be lit by candlelight to be period accurate to the time. It's just incredible to listen to him discuss the way this was made. The 3 lead performances in this movie are absolutely incredible. The chemistry between the 3 characters are amazing, and this is obviously where Yorgos started working with Emma Stone, and their relationship has blossomed and they continue to work together. And it's such a disturbing, fun, over-the-top movie that I constantly think about all the time. I just like when Yorgos gets more disturbing as his films go on, and this is a movie I always look forward to revisiting. Coming in at number 4 is The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I just rewatched this for my A24 archive series recently, and this movie is incredible. I talked about it in this review, but I think Yorgos is the closest we'll ever get to a modern day Stanley Kubrick. The way his cinematography looks and the amount of headspace he gives characters and the way shots are framed, they just remind me so much of Kubrick. This movie is one of his most demented when it comes to like this tragic circumstance happening to this family, but it's so ridiculously overblown it makes you laugh in moments. And I think Yorgos just has this brilliant way of putting you in situations that you're so uncomfortable it's impossible not to laugh. And I saw this movie the first time in the theater and I just was blown away by how amazing it was. And revisiting it a couple of times since then, I've grown to love it more. I just think the 3 films above it on this list are a little bit better. Coming in at number 3 is Dogtooth, arguably Yorgos's most demented film, about a father who keeps his kids locked up in their home and essentially doesn't teach them anything about the outside world. This movie has all kinds of taboo subject matter introduced, and it's incredibly thought-provoking when you're picking apart the human psyche and trying to understand what would happen to people if they were put into this situation, and if you learned enough that you wanted to escape, but this is the only life that you've ever known. There are some truly hilarious moments moments in this movie that make me laugh so hard I cry, but there's also some truly disturbing moments that make me cringe every time I watch it. And that's what makes an amazing film to me, is when you can convey that wide of array of an emotions in a short time period. And that's what to me makes Yorgos a genius. I love this movie, and it is a must-watch film in my opinion. Coming in at number 2 is The Lobster. This, for a very long time, was my favorite of Lanthimos' films, and I revisited it not too long ago for my A24 archive series, and I still absolutely adore this movie. It's a brilliant commentary on relationships. Colin Farrell is perfect for the world of Yorgos Lanthimos. The way he delivers dialogue, just everything about his presence is just absolutely amazing. And this movie is so much fun to watch, and it's so hilarious. There are so many moments I think about in this movie all the time. I quote this movie consistently because it's just so amazing. There's just one film on this list that I find to be a little bit better than this movie. And coming in at number 1, if you were paying attention as a surprise to no one, is Yorgos' new film, Poor Things. Poor Things kind of blew my mind. I never thought Yorgos could surpass The Lobster for me, for a film that I would just absolutely adore with every fiber of my being, and Poor Things hit the nail on the head. I think it is a beautiful piece of film that looks at feminism through a very unique lens, and just the way women are viewed for embracing sexuality and the way women are ridiculed for embracing their sexuality. I actually find a lot of the critiques around this movie being like, oh, it's overtly sexual. There's no way this movie is feminist because of how ridiculous and overtly sexual it is. And you're just proving the movie's point, honestly. Like, if women want to embrace their sexuality and want to be open with their sexuality, like, that's up to them. And for so many years, how conservative our culture is, anytime a woman appreciates sex or wants to embrace sex, they are ridiculed and treated horribly for it. And I love that Yorgos made this movie, and Emma Stone produced it. That's how much she wanted to get this across. She put her own money into this. And I think that not only is that a really interesting idea, but the way the film looks at the morality of science, and should moral boundaries exist if we want to discover things through the use of science and technology. And it's really confusing and uncomfortable in moments when you think about it. And that's what makes the movie so brilliant. This is just stunning visually. The way it cuts from black and white to color, I think, is brilliant, especially looking at how it's our lead character kind of escaping the confines of what she knows to experience the world on her own for the first time. And everything opens up to this vibrant, beautifully colorful world that also has so much unique and interesting visuals. I just adore this movie, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since I watched it, and I really cannot wait to watch it again very, very soon. So what's your favorite Yorgos Lanthimos film? Let me know in the comments. Yorgos is arguably my favorite current director working, and I can't wait for him to put more films out. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material, and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.